right there, Latin 2. Go ahead and translate 9J. Okay, you're done. So here's how it translates. So on the ninth day before the calends of October, so if you count backwards, calends is the first. September only has 30 days. So 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Okay? So on September 23rd, during the consulships of Marcus Cicero and Gaius Antonius, Gaius Octavius was born, who who later on was made the first Roman emperor. When he had finished 4 years, his father died. Gaius, therefore, was raised by his mother Atia. Boy, is she an interesting character. If you watch the TV show Rome, first off, you're too young for it. But if you ever watch the BBC and HBO combination Rome, which you're too young for, she's a fascinating character. Also, his great uncle, Gaius Julius Caesar, and literally we mean both. He was a great man, but also he was his great uncle, like he was his mother's uncle. Is said to have taught him many things. When Caesar had been or was killed by conspirators, Octavius already having been born 18 years ago, so in other words, 18 years of age, was away in Illyricum. He, having returned to Rome as quickly as possible, he was adopted as heir of Caesar in Caesar's will. And when he had learned who had killed Caesar, he immediately decided at some future time to avenge his dead uncle as his father. So this is kind of an important thing. If your father is killed, you have the right of revenge. You have the right of vengeance. That's actually a thing. If you can prove that it was murder, not some sort of state-sanctioned thing. So because he was adopted by his great uncle posthumously to be his own son, then he has the right of revenge. However, at that time, because he was having no army, he was able to do nothing. Meanwhile, because Marcus Antonius roused the Roman population, the conspirators tried to flee from the city. However, while Antonius was pursuing the conspirators throughout Italy, Marcus Tullius Cicero, that most famous orator, was giving speeches in which he was saying that Antonius was an enemy to the state. It gets really confusing. So Marcus Antonius was Caesar's right-hand man. Most loyal thought that he was going to inherit a bunch of stuff from Caesar, got nothing, but he still honored Caesar, and he was chasing these guys. At that time, Octavius, having used the wealth which he had received in the will of Caesar, persuaded the Senate to elect him consul, which you couldn't do back then at 19 because you had to be in your 50s to be consul, and yet he had so much money, he's like, you guys want to make me consul. Because he's basically saying, look, Antonius is being really unreasonable to y'all. Make me consul. And they went with it because he technically had Gaius Julius Caesar's name. So at 19, he becomes consul of Rome. I didn't even have a cool comic book collection at that time. He was named, at that same time, he was named Gaius Julius Caesar Octavian. So he had the name. So the Senate is like, how could we be against Rome and against the man you loved when we have the guy who's got the name of the man you loved in charge? See, we're being reasonable. And so he was able to play both sides against themselves. By the way, Mark Zuckerberg really admires Octavian, Augustus, for all the wrong reasons. He did that, and then he was named that. Yes, the senators were wanting Octavian to defend the city Rome against Antonius, whom they were already fearing. Octavian, however, joined himself to Antony. So what had happened was there were a couple of other guys who were fighting against Antony who were also consuls, and they both died. So now Octavian has all three armies, and then he takes them all and joins to Antony. So then Senate's like, oh, what do we do? At first, Octavian and Antony together followed or pursued the conspirators in Greece, and they defeated them in a battle. From there, when they had conquered the conspirators, Octavian and Antony decided to divide the Roman Empire amongst themselves. Technically, there's a third guy named Lepidus. He was Caesar's left-hand man, I guess. He was in charge of Caesar's horsemen, but he was supposed to be the other part of the triumvirate, but he was really a silent partner who just wanted to retire to Sicily. Having returned to Rome, Octavian returned to Rome, and Antony set out for Egypt. Moreover, the queen of the Egyptians was Cleopatra, whom Antonius immediately loved, most beautiful, whom Antonius immediately fell in love with. Soon Antony and Cleopatra were wanting to rule the entire Roman Empire. Roman Empire. When things were thus, and that's a very common phrase that you'll see, it was necessary for Octavian to bring war against Antony. The battle at Actium happened, and Cleopatra and Antonius, having been conquered, killed themselves. Octavian then added the whole of Egypt, which had been captured in war, to the Roman Empire. Then he closed the Janus Quirinus, and he proclaimed peace through the entire empire. He himself was made the emperor of the Romans. Now, technically, princeps means first among equals, by the way. Let's see. He stabilized and increased the Roman Empire. He established many things, and he did the most useful and best things the most useful and best things were established by him for the Roman population. And the Roman Empire was increased and stabilized. Even many poets, Virgil, Horatius, Propertius, Ovid, which is kind of a funny thing to add in, were praising the Roman state in verses, or the Roman accomplishments in verses. Among the many honors which the Senate gave to him, certainly the greatest was the cognomen Augustus, which had been conferred to him on the, that's the 17th day before the calends of February, so February 1, July 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. So on January 16th, in the year, that is 727 years since the founding of Rome. From that time, or out of that time, the name of the sixth month was named Augustus from that time forward. He married 2 women, but he was having no son. Moreover, his son-in-law, his son-in-law Marcellus, he was having in mind to adopt as his heir. However, in the year 731 from the founding of Rome, Marcellus died, of the saddest disease. Therefore, Augustus adopted Tiberius, the son of Livia, his second wife, as his heir. When he had completed when he had almost completed his 76th year, while he was making a journey in Campania, or while he is making a journey in Campania, he died from the most sad disease on the 14th day before the calends of September. So September, August has 31, so he died in his own month. September 1, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 2019. So he died on August 19th. His body was brought back to Rome, and it was buried in a huge tomb. And for 1 month afterwards, the Senate, who had elected him or who had pronounced Augustus as already divine, they numbered him with his uncle, his maternal uncle, amongst the gods. So they basically elevated him. And that's kind of cool. Rome can do that. You can get promoted after you die. Okay, that's a lot, right? So answer the questions. Shouldn't be a problem because you need to answer them in English. Then what I want you to do is review 9C. Okay, 9C is very simple. Highlight the participle and then highlight the same color the noun that it modifies. I don't need anything beyond that, and then just translate it. Okay. 9D, fill in the blank, highlight it, and then translate. You've already done 9E. Do 9F, just literally line for line, right? You dare, and that's singular. It's not imperative, so it's singular, second person. And so you're going to use the semi-deponent verb for that, okay? And it's present tense. And then 9G, and this one I want you to make sure you do well. 9G, so I want you to do infinitive trees for 9G, okay? So for laudo, you're going to do the da, and then active and the passive, and then perfect, present, and future. And the only form it won't have is going to be the future passive, right? And all the rest you need to fill in all the different infinitives, and that's different than what the book is saying. So please make sure that you've done that. Okay, this might have been the longest video that I've made, so I'm going to hit the button.